on the hottest week in DFW. Happy fall, y'all. That's right. I said it, Ian. Happy fall on the hottest week of August. Just
been gross.
Blistering misery, surface of the sun. It's good to be alive and well in America, though. Lots to be thankful for. Much. And there he is, folks. That's our AI.
Hey.
Aggravated Ian.
As far as summers have been, this one has been bomb.
Still
100.com.
No, it has. We're actually going to talk about that either later in this show. We might get to it next week. I don't know if we're going to have time. But statistically speaking, this and next are basically the hottest weeks in summer. We talked a lot about back to school last week. We'll get into that some this week, I'm sure. But if you've paid attention to this show, if you've been a listener, viewer, participant in any way over the last decade, you know we often sound like idiots because we're talking 30, 60 days ahead. But it is time to be talking about the fall real estate market. Even though it feels like the absolute height of summer, which seasonally it is, from a kind of traditional school-related summer feel, we're wrapping up. But it is blistering hot this week. Mostly feels that way because Courtney's right, and it hasn't felt overwhelmingly hot as much as past summers. But all that to say, that does not change how the real estate market responds when the calendar rolls into September. And if I was out with a client today and I was writing up an offer for them, or I was negotiating an offer from a buyer for a seller, it's very likely that we are now writing that for September. Okay? And so that is the fall market here in DFW, right? September, October, parts of November. We don't have a real lengthy seasonal fall, but that's kind of when the real estate fall happens. And usually it's a rebound from a funky August, September transition. So we'll talk about that as we make our way through the show, but we are going to get our heads around. We're going to help you try to get your head around the fall real estate market and what could and should that mean for you. Now, Ian, if there was a partner of the show, say a long time, 20 plus year trusted partner of the show that wanted people to have this first part of the show, who do you think maybe that could be?
I think I'd go with my boy PG.
Amen.
Patrick Gleros with ABC Bank. For years is who we've told you to reach out to. And if you have first questions on mortgages, refinancing, just anything to do with the mortgage industry, Patrick can get you hooked up. You can start an application right there on his website, patrickgleros.com, 972-386-1231, NMLS number 308804. And as always, go to toddtremoneyteam.com, click on that radio tab where you can find all of our recommended pros and vendors.
Short pop quiz. Courtney, did you hear me doing some voice to text as I walked in the studio?
Yep. And I tried to interrupt it, and I leaned over and I saw you were talking to Patrick.
That's right. First of all, that's what friends do. If you hear your friend on voice to text, you're supposed to shout.
You lean in.
Yeah. But that's exactly what I was doing. And what I said, I'll read it actually, quote.
Thank you.
I said, do whatever you would do for yourself. I trust you. We're working on a deal right now. And he's like, hey, it's either this or that. I think we ought to make a move today. And I just said, great, following your lead. And that's what I think other people should do. PatrickGleros.com, GLAROS, PatrickGleros.com. Boom. All right. We got a lot to cover today. And Courtney, look, we're going to keep it entirely in line today. We're not going off the rails at any point, even though aggravated Ian is here. We're staying true. Courtney's worked hard.
We'll see.
On an outline for this show.
Challenge accepted.
And so there's a lot of good show prep that was done today. Courtney, where would you like us to start?
I try to be a solid
also, you can call or text with your questions and totally interrupt us. 214-310-0008. 214-310-0008. Call with your real estate questions, whether you're buying, selling, want to enjoy what you've got, or you're sleeping on a friend's couch, putting a plan together to make it happen. Or you just want to do something with the garden or the house or whatever. Holler at us. 214-310-0008.
We have a lot happening around the office and on this team. And we don't just sell and buy homes around here.
Right.
We also prep for a conference to equip other teams.
Correct.
So I want to hear from you about that.
Okay.
And then I want to talk about why people would want to be on our team.
Oh, okay.
And why I love it.
The summit is an unbelievably ridiculous amount of work, but it's one of the coolest things we get to do every single year because we get to impact other businesses that impact more families. So one of our massive goals around here, of course, is impacting people in a positive way for life change. We feel that is, of course, our business, but also our calling to use our God-given gifts and abilities to add value in the lives of other people. And real estate happens to be where we are doing that and have been for 20 plus years as a team. All that said, this conference is great because locally we want to impact hundreds of families, and then we get to impact hundreds of business owners that go back all over the United States and Canada, and each go impact dozens or hundreds of families. So it's a really cool leveraged reach opportunity as we help train and equip and prepare people for changing markets, for different strategies, different market conditions, and all those sorts of things. So if there was someone listening right now who is in real estate, is a residential real estate agent, or has someone that they love that is a friend, a family member, whatever, you could send them to realgrowthsummit.com. They could grab a ticket. I think depending on if you're listening right now, there's still early bird pricing. Yes. If you're catching a recording of a podcast later, maybe not. But go to realgrowthsummit.com. The conference is September 15th and 16th with the welcome party on the 14th. And basically we spend 2 days pouring into people, giving them a chance to step out of their business and work on their business and not just in it, so that they can sell more homes, help more buyers, help more sellers. Whether you're local or out of the area or know someone local or out of the area, we feel called to do that. We really enjoy doing that, and it has a massive impact. realgrowthsummit.com. Now, if you're local and you're like, I want to come to that conference, but I would like to work with you. If you're in any way compelled to the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team, you like the way we work, you like the way we take care of people, the results we have. By the way, if you just wanted to know, like, what are the results, Todd? Lately, we're selling homes 6.87% over the market average. So, if you had a $500,000 house and you sold it with a traditional, normal, average agent versus selling it with us, you're going to get $30,000 to $35,000 more selling that house with us. Literally net more in your pocket than what other homes are actually selling for. And you're also going to do that about 18 days faster, or right now almost 4 times faster. So it is a big deal to get more money and get it faster, and for your life to not be miserable when you're selling. So holler at us. For a conference, go to realgrowthsummit.com. For anything else, just go to toddtremontiteam.com. And we would love for you to join us at the conference, join us in growing your life and your business. It's
What's
a lot going on.
One of the things you're most excited about this year's conference?
Our theme this year is special agent. So think James Bond, think Jason Bourne. But what that really means is, sadly, most people are getting crushed in this real estate market, meaning real estate agents and teams and brokerages are really hurting right now. They're not getting as much business as they normally do because there's less transactional volume overall, although I think that may change here pretty soon. And so people are struggling. They want to help people. They want to work more, but they don't have as many buyers. They don't have as many sellers, and they don't really know how to solve for that. So when we say be a special agent, what we're saying is specialize in something. Be world-class at something. Stop trying to do everything. If you ask somebody, like, do you sell residential? Yes. Do you sell commercial? Yes. Do you sell industrial? Yes. Do you do leasing? Yes. Do you do sales? Yes. Okay, they're not going to be world-class at those things. Maybe one. But someone who's like, we can do everything, is not doing any one thing at an exceptional level almost ever. Now, there are exceptions. What we want to encourage people to do is to go and be phenomenal at something. It may be that you're world-class at helping doctors buy property. It may be that you're world-class at waterfront property. It may be that you are the most intelligent and engaging and compelling person on the planet for properties with rooftop decks. That sounds really narrow, but if you were just world-class at that thing, people would come to you, they would pay you what you're worth, they would treat you with respect and high regard, and you could deliver so much value that they would tell their friends and family about you, and you could build a long-time, robust, high-income, high-impact business. And so we want to help people do that. That's one of the really cool things that we will do at the Real Growth Summit this year, and you can find out a ton more at realgrowthsummit.com. How about that?
I love it. And I think that you should absolutely come, because I get to work under this guy every single day. And I'll say, I've been working here for 3 years, and the person who started at this company, I mean, I don't even know her anymore. I feel like a completely different person in the way that I've grown and been developed and constantly like challenged. And I just think like this team is really special because we get to sell homes and love on families and help them find where they need to be. But like as a team, and the culture here is really incredible. And if you're looking for a place to be a part of in that way and be the best version of yourself and work hard, like this is where I would want to sell homes.
Yeah. It's the only place I would want to sell homes. And that sounds obnoxious coming from the business owner, but we have built the team to be the place that if I was new in real estate, that's where I would want to go and I would never want to leave. Mm-hmm. I was sitting down, I think Ian and I were both sitting down with a second or third interview potential new team member agent the other day. And she said, I watched your videos online. I have a feel for who you are. And you say that you want people to retire here. And I was like, wow, you did watch the videos. And I know not everyone stays forever. People, life change, marriage, families move across the country, all that kind of stuff. But that is our desire, is that somebody could, and if they wanted to, would stay here until they retire. They could be developed here. They could grow in their career. They could grow in income. They could grow in impact. They could grow in their ability to make an actual contribution and fulfill their God-given role as a mother or a father, friend, roommate, ministry, servant, whatever, while doing this job. And so that's a huge commitment we have. It's a huge burden that on my healthiest days, I really, really love. On my least healthy days, I feel really, really burdened by, and feel like I still have a lot of room to grow to be able to facilitate that and do that at a really high level. But we have people that have been here for 10 plus years, 9 years, 8 years, 6 years. That's the feedback I'm looking for that says those people, their children, their spouses, their community members are like, no, this is a great place for you to be. I want you to stay there. And then it's not just because of me. All of you that are here are major contributors to, you use the word culture, or why people stay. It's not like I'm the only reason or the leads are the only reason. We got 100,000 plus leads. It's not just because we have a radio show or a podcast or YouTube channels or newsletters or live events or because we train other agents around the globe. That all sounds really cool on a resume. It makes me feel like a tool saying it. But all that stuff are kind of like features and benefits. But what you're speaking about is what I call transformational value, right? So, okay, I can get leads, I can get leadership, I can get accountability. I have a website, I have a CRM, there's an office, there's a radio show, there's all these things. But those are features. Those are things that could help me. But I see people there. I talk to people there. And being a part of this team has been a huge part of their life, in their hardest moments, in their best moments. And that's what I'm really proud of. So if someone wants to be a part of that, you can just go to toddtremonteteam.com. There's a careers page with a very simple 3-step process to apply. And you don't have to be like 100% ready to apply. You just start that process. We'll have a conversation and we'll see if real estate's a fit for you. We'll see if we're a fit for you. If real estate is and we're not, we'll point you towards some other folks that may be a good fit for you. But toddtremonteteam.com.
Do they have to do all 3 steps?
Yes. It's only 3, but it's all 3.
Can they choose which 2 they want to do?
I appreciate you asking, because so many applicants do not complete all 3 steps. But nope, it's a 3 or nothing kind of situation. If you do 2, we will not be calling you back.
Got it.
We need people that can follow 3-step processes to be a part of our team.
Do you think it's a good time for people to get into real estate?
I think it's a phenomenal time, but I think almost every headline you read will tell you that it's a terrible time. And so why do I think so differently? Because the headlines are telling you it's a bad time to get into real estate because there's a lower transactional volume, because interest rates are, although they're pretty good, are not at all-time lows. They're going to tell you that housing prices are high, that people's incomes aren't as high, all these statistical things. And I'm going to tell you that it's a phenomenal time to get into the business if, it's a big if you want to be world-class, if you want to deliver expertise, if you want to care for people, lead people, advocate, and guide people to the outcome that is best for them, which is sometimes not buying or selling real estate. If that's what you want to do, there's a greater demand for expertise and excellence in residential real estate than at almost any other time in my career. There was one other time where there was a greater demand. Does anybody want to guess when in my 20 plus year career there was a higher demand for expertise from real estate agents?
2020.
2008.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So it felt like
I was a baby.
Felt like the market bottomed out. We had the most foreclosures and short sales and mortgage defaults that we had in DFW, maybe ever, definitely at least since the late 80s savings and loan issues. And people thought, oh my gosh, my neighbor's house has been on the market for 7 months. Homes don't just sell. I need a pro. I don't need my knucklehead nephew who got his real estate license out of a Cracker Jack box online the other day. I need a pro. So other than that, this is the time where we are seeing people that are like, whoa, this isn't easy. I need a pro. I would tell you, you always need a pro, even in the 2020, 2021 market when it was like houses were selling like crazy. People that were lazy, that did it themselves, people that hired their knucklehead nephew, they thought they did really well because it felt good. And we were comparing our sales to those sales and we were like, man, those people left like $40,000 on the table. So don't do that. But if you want to be a part of delivering that world-class value, if you want to run with a team of other hard driving pros who work hard, have a lot of fun, care for each other, and work interdependently. This is not a team of Lone Rangers. Then holler at us, toddtremonteteam.com or call or text 214-310-0008. That's 214-310-0008. And again, if you're like, hey, I'm not looking to join your team, but I'm in real estate, or I have a friend or a spouse in real estate that I think could really use some training, could use some encouragement, that could use some community, that would want to be a special agent, send them to realgrowthsummit.com. Early bird pricing for our 2 full days of resources and encouragement. Last year, a lot of people, Courtney, you can back me up, or Ian, a lot of people kind of stumbled into the summit last year. Like, it's been brutal out there. And it felt like they were just holding their charging cord in their hand.
You could feel it.
And then they plugged in and they left and they were like, man, I needed this so bad. Yeah. Thank you so much. I feel more encouraged, more optimistic. I feel more ready. And those people will be there again. It's our 7th year of doing this. realgrowthsummit.com.
Let me say about DP Lambert and Goosehead Insurance. If you have not looked at your home insurance or your auto insurance recently, reach out to DP. I just did. And he sent me a quote, and it is lower and going to save me some money.
How about that?
And so we're going to chat a little bit further on it, but DP's doing what we have told you he does for years now. Reach out to DP, 214-614-8595 is the phone number. dp.lambert, Lambert, at goosehead.com is the email. Or just head over to toddtremonteteam.com, click on the radio tab where you can find DP's info and everybody else that we talk about on the show.
I was also texting DP today because it's time to add another vehicle because the boy is about to drive. So I had to do the old like, hey, I'm going to have a teen male driver. How big of a cannonball am I about to get hit?
$76,000.
How big of a cannonball am I about to get hit with? And he basically said, hey, you don't need to add him yet, but here's what we need to do. And so I was texting back and forth. And the other thing that's nice is when you've had the same real estate pro for years and years, you can change providers. You can change from one carrier to another every year if you want. DP will help you find right coverage, right price. But he's been my go-to guy forever. So then we ended up texting back and forth several times about just how crazy it is that my son is old enough to drive. And it was wild. So dp.lambert@goosehead.com. Doesn't get any better than that. Just doesn't get any better than that. All right, folks, if you have questions, 214-310-0008. If you missed the show or if you missed part of the show, Courtney, where can someone go and watch or listen to what they missed?
You can go to the YouTubes.
All of them.
We also are on Spotify, and I've added the video.
Okay, so you can check out
exciting.
wherever you get a podcast, Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. But also, do people call it iTunes anymore, or do they just call it Apple now? I don't know, Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
But now, old full price Courtney over there has figured out how to get the video podcast. You can literally watch us all in studio, fumbling with our coffee and our notes and microphones on your phone from Spotify. How about that? The podcast is called DFW Real Estate Weekly. with Todd Tremonti. We gave it a very long name, so it's easy to search for and find. DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti. Look, Ian's got it on his phone right there.
Yeah. I'm watching the show while on the show.
Yeah,
Doesn't it look cool?
we're hosting a show and he's watching a different show. If you wait long enough, you'll get the second or third camera view where you're in it, often messing with your microphone. Okay, questions for you. What do you need? What's going on with you in your real estate life? Are you thinking about getting the patio ready for fall? Are you thinking about getting ready to sell or buy, downsize or upsize? Or are you thinking, I'm not going anywhere. I love my house. I love my apartment. I don't want to go anywhere, but I have questions about paint. I have questions about value. I have questions about taxes. Holler at us. 214-310-0008. That's 214-310-0008 or online at
TouchRemindingTeam.com.
You know what someone should do if they've got like a minute just lying around just thinking, how should I spend this minute?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
They should be a responsible homeowner.
Okay.
And a responsible homeowner would know what their property is worth.
Okay.
And if they wanted to jump online and say, I only have like 45 seconds,
Okay.
they could go to ToddTremontiTeam.com and they could click the home valuation button.
Okay. Yeah.
And while they were there, they could get their home value in under 60 seconds. They could also search any house for sale by any agent in all of DFW.
All of them.
All the homes on the MLS, all the homes on the internet. They could also, if they wanted to, request a cash offer for their house. They could also track their home equity. They could also fill out a home buyer readiness scorecard. Take a little quiz, find out their score.
It's like the most stuff you could do in like a minute.
Home seller readiness scorecard. You could do all that at ToddTremontiTeam.com. You know what you won't find there, Courtney? Stuff that you don't want, like a weather forecast or random information about farmers markets. Although I check the weather and I like a farmers market, but we've put together a website that is really valuable for you with really up-to-date, accurate local real estate information and not a lot of distractions. ToddTremontiTeam.com.
I can also just tell you the weather forecast like now for like 3 weeks from now.
For the next 6 to 10 weeks.
It's going to be hot.
Blistering.
Sunny and hot.
Although there was a cold front. Did you feel the cold front that came through last week? Because it was all over the media that we had a cold front. It would have been like 127, but it was only 99 because of the cold front.
No, didn't feel it.
That's North Texas for you. But we are talking fall real estate market, and we'll talk a lot more about it later in the show. What does that mean for buyers? What does that mean for sellers? What does that mean for you if you're not thinking about buying or selling at all? I'll tell you this. If you own a little bit of acreage or you want to own a little bit of acreage, you better hang with us, because when we come back after the break for news, traffic, and weather, we are going to be talking about how fall is my favorite season to buy and sell real estate, and fall is my favorite season in the backyard. Now, if your backyard is a quarter of an acre, great. If your backyard is 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 acres, even better. We're going to talk about all those things and how to absolutely dominate this fall in real estate, buying, selling, enjoying. And I'm going to talk a lot about the enjoying part if you have a big backyard. We'll be right back after this. ToddTremontiTeam.com for all of your real estate needs.
What? Yeah!
Quick time out. Hey, if you're enjoying the channel and this video and our content, we have hundreds of other videos on real estate content, buying, selling, specific areas, seasonality, and all that good stuff. Check this other one out. Welcome back. Welcome back, party people. Lots to cover here. Lots to cover in limited time, so let's get right to it. We're going to talk Carrollton here in a little bit. I feel like Carrollton is underrated, and that's all I'm going to say for now. We'll talk more about it as we make our way through the second half of the show. Before we went to the break, we were talking about backyards and the glory of the backyard, especially for me as I look forward to fall. It is not currently feeling like fall outside. Ian, can I get a confirmation on that?
Confirmed it's horrific.
Okay, our local AI, our in-studio AI, aggravated Ian. Let's ask him again, Courtney. As if I were typing into aggravated Ian, the bot, is it feeling like fall?
No, it feels like the surface of the sun, and it is the most horrific feeling that is out there, because as soon as you step outside, you sweat and feel like you're burning.
I like it when he uses words like horrific and burning. It's always subtle with him, you know? Old aggravated Ian. Thanks, appreciate that.
Yep.
Next chat session. Okay, it is not feeling like fall outside, but we opened the show with the fact that when back to school hits, there's a lot of things happening. Major transitionary period. So although it is very much summer, we're not back to school yet. The real estate market is rapidly moving into fall. Contracts that are being written now are likely to happen in September and October, but it is still sweat your face off outside, even though apparently we had a mythical cold front come through and keep us out of the hundreds.
We didn't. The
reality is this. That is where the real estate market is. But as I start thinking towards fall, back to school is that transition for me. I get excited. I actually love the fall real estate market. You guys have heard me for well over a decade on this radio station and podcast and other content places say that my wife and I do all of our personal buying and selling in the fall. I really don't think, I'm sure I flipped a house outside of that, but for our personal homes, I don't think we have ever done that outside of the months of October, November, or maybe a December, but I think they've all been in October and November. So anyway, we can talk a little bit now and probably more in the next show as to technically specifically why. But we talked a lot last week about it, motivated sellers that some of them accurately feel like they've missed the spring and summer, and then need to buy buyers that are going to buy before the end of the tax year, the school year, the calendar year, the work year, whatever. And it's a really efficient time. But none of that is my favorite thing about the fall, Courtney. Do you know what my favorite thing about the fall is?
Buying and selling.
Nope. I literally, she doesn't
your
always,
backyard.
She doesn't always listen, Ian.
It's
your
hard.
backyard.
Listening's tough.
In this next segment with Courtney.
I got it all right. Your
Listening.
backyard and buying.
I just talked about buying and selling and said that's a heck of a time and that's when I do it. But that's not my favorite thing. Not my favorite
Your
thing.
backyard.
There it is. There's my favorite thing. My favorite thing about the fall is that I can go outside and never feel like I need to come back inside.
It is a nice
time. At no
time.
point am I like, I need to change all of my clothes.
It is a nice time.
I need to just go breathe a little bit. Nope. In the fall, and you know what happens almost every Sunday, Courtney? I get up, I go outside, I have coffee, I play around a little bit, we go to church, and I get out of the car from church, and I never go inside. I just stay outside until like time for dinner, time for community group, time for whatever. It's so great. And it's garden, it's orchard, it's throwing the ball with the kids. It's sometimes in the fall you can still swim. It's not that it's cold, but it's glorious. And so the question that you so often ask me, Courtney, is what are you doing in your backyard right now? So how would you like to ask that question today? Because you always have a little flair.
It evolves. Yeah. Well, my question today is, how are you enjoying your backyard in the absolute dog days of summer?
Or as Ian would say, on the surface of the sun where it's burning your face and skin.
Sure. Yep. A wool sock.
I'll tell you this. Right now, we're enjoying the pool. The pool is never more valuable than in August in Texas, where if you're not careful, your pool can feel like a bathtub, right? We were very careful in how we designed the pool in the house.
Did you get a chiller?
I'd say we got a little lucky too. We do not have a chiller. But when we tore the old house down and rebuilt the new house around the existing pool, we didn't move. Of course, we didn't move the pool, but we didn't change the pool. We were very deliberate that the west side of the house is a little taller, so it shades the pool earlier in the afternoon than it used to so that it doesn't boil. And it's still really enjoyable. So here's what I like in the backyard right now. I like the pool. I love the covered patio because we put some fans out there. And I love the shade. I also love the figs. We're out of apples now. I love the pears, which are good. You had one the other day, but they're getting better every single day.
I ate my way through your whole yard.
And I'm having to be really patient because I'm like, the pears are good right now, but they'll be better. Every day we wait until fall. More sun, more sweetness. So we're trying to be really patient. I will say this. Tomatoes are finished for summer. They've retired for the summer months.
Are they blistered?
They're not blistered, but they are not putting on new blooms right now. And the new blooms that were put on 3 or 4 weeks ago, they are not producing fruit. Here's what will happen, though. Mm-hmm. They'll take a breather. They've just sort of expressed that it's, like Ian said, blisteringly hot outside. Then, as soon as we get some relief, usually late August, early September, boom, we'll have I think the official term is a bazillion new blooms on the tomatoes. And then we start holding out hope. Will we make it? Will all of those fruit and ripen? Yes, Ian, the term is fruit because technically Tomatoes are fruit.
You think I didn't know that?
No, I knew you knew it, but you usually like to object to it or fight facts on it. Okay.
No, that one's true.
Okay. Yes. Then we need to find out, like, will they make it all the way to being ripe before it gets cold in maybe November? So that's the adventure of the backyard and the garden right now. We want shade. We want the pool. We like the fruit. But we're nearing the end of that, and we are now out there thinking, what do I need to do to get ready for fall? Because in the fall, I'm going to enjoy it front to back and side to side. I'm going to be out on the dock by the pond more. Man, coffee in the fall on the dock at the pond.
Sitting on the dock
of the bay.
Pond. Oh, you got to do. Watching the ducks fly away. Yeah, it's great. So you just,
Hey, Mom.
you enjoy a cooler morning and a cooler evening and a warm midday. I use the greenhouse more. Did I tell you that I have lemon and lime in the greenhouse? They
No.
love the heat. Yeah, they're just like, cool, we're in the tropics. This is where we want to be.
They want some humidity.
But in August, I have to open the door to the greenhouse because even that is just, it would boil even the citrus. So that's what we're doing back there. We have had so many, like the whole football team over for camp, the entire grade over for church small group, or for the student council things, or for cheer group stuff. So we're doing it all. It is fun. It is hot. And we haven't, because of the rain we've had, we do have more mosquitoes, and we do everything we can to keep the mosquitoes out. But the last couple of weeks have been a little brutal. So we are ready to move into fall and enjoy a cooler, more extended period outside. But we are also really loving the big backyard. So our kids do this thing with the student council where they have like this big Olympics between all the grades, and our kids' grades were all, like literally the whole grade out there prepping for that thing, out in the back doing all kinds of stuff. So we were glad to have the space for all of it. So they played basketball, they played a little pickleball, they practiced their Olympic stuff, they swam. It was great. It's kind of like when you look out the window and you're like, this is why we did it. This is why we bought it. This is why we built it. So proud moment, good stuff. We think backyards are great. You don't have to have a massive one, but if you want a big one, holler at us. 214-310-0008. That's what we do. We specialize in awesome, great neighborhood homes and homes on small acreage as well. You can find out more about that at
TouchMoneyTeam.com.
All right, folks, we're here to help. We want to help. We feel like our natural gifts and abilities are in alignment, and we're always hiring and training people based on their natural gifts and abilities to serve our clients really well. We're looking for a few more people to come help us serve our clients really well also. If you'll go to TouchMoneyTeam.com and just click on that careers tab, you can chat with Ian or me, maybe Courtney too, and we'll figure out if you're a fit for us, if we're a fit for you, if you can put your God-given gifts and abilities, your desires, your passions, your talents towards making a great living and have an awesome impact with more families in DFW. Holler at us, ToddTremontiTeam.com. All right, folks, I think Carrollton, Texas is wildly underrated. When I say Carrollton, what comes to your mind? I'm going to give you a minute to think about that. I'd love to hear from both of you in just a second. But Carrollton, I think, is underrated. If you live there, there's a lot of Carrollton pride. People are really proud to live there. They're proud of the kind of older parts of Carrollton and the charm, and the newer parts of Carrollton and the growth, and they're cautious about people who want to kind of make Carrollton anything new or different. But when I say Carrollton, what comes to your mind, Courtney?
Suburbs.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know.
That's a good answer. And I think that's why it's underrated. I think people are like, it's kind of in between. It's one of those in between areas. Not that far from the airport, in between Fort Worth and Dallas, south of like the big, explosive, polished, shiny new suburbs up there, but also not down in town, not Irving, Las Colinas, not in town Dallas or Fort Worth. It's kind of in between out there.
Feels a part of the sprawl.
Part of the sprawl, but not the newest part of the sprawl.
Right.
Agree?
Established.
I just don't think anything.
Okay. And so those are good, fair answers.
No, yeah, and that's like the absolute honest answer. I'm just
It's not something that you're like, it comes up in conversation all the time. And I think a lot of people in Carrollton love that. I think they're like, yep, it's our little slice of heaven. We like it. That old downtown part of Carrollton's been revitalized. There's great restaurants. There's good kind of family style, Babe's Chicken type stuff going on.
I know they
down there.
have some like old school soda shop or something there. I know that.
So there's a lot of charm in the downtown Carrollton area. If you're driving on the major highways, you kind of see the big water tower that's like painted, and you're like, oh, cool. There's some small town vibe down there, and you can go do that. But then, yes, you can get the suburban sprawl with these big neighborhoods with thousands of houses and traditional lots. And then you can find some pockets of homes on land. Carrollton, not necessarily known for a bunch of acreage property, but known for, great neighborhood options in pretty awesome location. Kind of, like I said, in between, close to the airport, not terribly far from anything. If you're thinking, I go east to Dallas, Plano, Allen, Richardson, all that stuff pretty quickly. I can go southeast of Dallas. I can go southwest of Fort Worth. I can get to the airport in 10 or 15 minutes max. I can get up to Frisco and all the entertainment stuff up there, and Prosper and, Colleyville and all that stuff. I can get to almost any of the lakes. It's pretty central. I can get west of Fort Worth. North central, east-ish, if you're thinking about the Metroplex overall. But when it comes to real estate, a great spot, pretty steady, pretty fair when it comes to price, pretty approachable. There's still some opportunities for first-time home buyers, but a lot of people go there and just never want to leave. So in all the best ways, a little underrated, not in the news a ton, and again, in great ways, and kind of quiet and reliable, with some, like I said, really underrated aspects. So I like Carrollton a lot. Let's talk real estate. Let's talk specifics. Before we do that really quickly, when it comes to buying or selling, whether you're doing that in Carrollton or anywhere, I say you check out Republic Title, republictitle.com. It is the title company that I want to use on anything I'm doing in real estate that I recommend to my friends, family, neighbors, and clients when it comes to their real estate. If they're buying and closing, selling and closing, refinancing and closing, if you're recording, transferring title in any way, and you want really competent, really kind, really hardworking people, that's Republic Title. Check it out, republictitle.com. All right, Ian, when we say Carrollton, what does it look like on the numbers?
Yeah, so I think one of the more interesting ones here is to do with days on market. Mm-hmm. And so there's two numbers that we're going to give you. One is the median days on market number, and the other is the average days on market number. Because the median days on market number hangs somewhere, and I'm talking really since 2022, somewhere in that 15 to 25 day range. Yep. And right now it's at about 16 days on average on the median side of things.
Right. Now, what's more popularly published in the media is average. And what are we looking at for average?
Yeah, so the average, if I look at 2023, 24, 25, in 23, it ranged anywhere from 20 to 43 days.
Okay.
In 24, it ranged anywhere from 24 to 49 days.
Okay.
And this year, it ranges anywhere from 36 to 53.
Now, let's just stop because most people zoned out when we hit them with a bunch of numbers. What the heck are we talking about? What does this mean? Days on market. What are we talking about?
Yeah, so it's talking about from the day that your house goes, quote, live on the MLS, live on the market, until it is under contract.
Yep. So that's the amount of time it takes you to get a buyer, to get fully agreed. We call that executed, a fully finalized contract. It's no longer available to anybody else. Okay, so median and average, if you did junior high or early high school math, in Texas, you learn the difference. One is basically the midpoint of the number line of the full spectrum of possibilities. And average is we added all the numbers up and we averaged it by the number of numbers, right? So the media can be misleading, sometimes on purpose, sometimes just, that's the way numbers work. And then sometimes people can kind of mislead or really, really help you by giving you a median number. So all of this to say is that Carrollton's a healthy real estate market. They basically experienced a little bit of the pullback after the COVID run-up, after the mortgage rates doubled and tripled for some, just like lots of other parts of the area. You're seeing average prices in the area around $380,000 Again, we could give you an average number and we could give you a median number, but you're seeing home values in the high 300s, low 400s, and then certainly you could find $1 million properties all throughout Carrollton. There's very few exceptions in the 200s, but we saw values pull back from a high of about 414 to about 352, and then they're making their way back up. So again, Carrollton's acting like a lot of the other suburbs in the area. I would say overall it's probably more steady, more predictable.
It's a pretty middle market. There's about 3 months of inventory, so it's not favorable for really either side particularly.
Yeah. And what Ian means by that is if you have very, very little inventory, it favors sellers. If you have a whole bunch of houses on the market, it tends to favor buyers. And this one's kind of in the middle, little bit more of a seller's advantage, but that's broad. Could be different neighborhood by neighborhood, street by street, house by house. But what we're trying to tell you is Carrollton's a very approachable, predictable, safe, steady market. Homes in the high threes and up. Lots of single family residential 3 and 4 bedroom houses, not as many 5-bedroom houses, and you don't see nearly as many condos and townhomes as you do in some other suburbs, but they do have a more than adequate supply of patio homes, 0-lot townhomes, plenty of apartments, in a great location. So if you're in the area and you haven't given Carrollton a consideration in a while, go check it out. Go check out that really cool downtown area. Go check out some of the more modern retail areas. Go drive some neighborhoods. If you have not been to the area and you're thinking about making a move to the area, Carrollton's a great central, leaning to the Dallas side location. Great to the airport. Great to transportation, airports. Great to healthcare, hotels, hospitals, and lots of options there. You are within 20 minutes of incredible restaurants and options in multiple different neighboring cities.
And you do also have Merido Golf Club out there. I did forget about that.
Yeah, good golf pretty much everywhere in DFW, but Carrollton's going to get you to a lot of the good Plano golf, Allen golf, and in-town golf, plus down into Dallas and over to Fort Worth, all within 30, 40 minutes. So it's a great location, pretty stable. And I would say if you're from out of the area, it's absolutely worthy of a look and a drive. Check out some of our other videos on our YouTube channel. Just search my name, Todd Tremonti, on YouTube. We have a channel dedicated to areas all over DFW, a separate channel dedicated to big backyard properties, and a lot of good content there. Plus, you can find podcast information there as well. So if you have questions about Carrollton, give us a holler, 214-310-0008, or you can always find us online at toddtremontiteam.com. If you don't have a home warranty and you're thinking about buying a home, or you're planning to be in your home for a long time, or maybe even if you have a rental property, I think a home warranty is a great idea. Trinity Home Advisors has a different approach to home warranty. Yes, it's going to look different than home warranties you've seen in the past, because their goal is to educate you, support you, so that if you have a home warranty claim, if you need to call someone and say, hey, something's not right, I need someone to come fix something, that claim is going to get granted, that they're going to say, yeah, we'll send somebody out. You pay a small trip fee, and then they take care of the basic systems in your home. They're also going to help you maintain your home over time so that things don't break and you don't need as much maintenance. So things like filters and regular maintenance and service, they've got some great technology to help keep you updated on those things. They're also going to communicate well with you up front on all of your options, things you could add, things you may need or not need. TrinityHomeAdvisors.com. TrinityHomeAdvisors.com for home warranties. I do recommend them for nearly all homeowners, especially if you're not someone that wants to deal with maintenance, not someone that wants to do your own maintenance, not someone that wants to constantly be having to figure out who does what and how, and wants to just be able to pick up the phone, call someone, pay a very small trip fee, and have them take great care of it. TrinityHomeAdvisors.com. Now, I want to talk about ice cream for just a second. Listen, Courtney, I went to Sweet Firefly the other day, and I got the sea salt caramel, and I closed my eyes, and I'm not positive, but I think, and I don't want to blaspheme here, but I think I tasted a little bit of heaven. Mm-hmm. What do you get at Sweet Firefly?
I like to chew my ice cream. So I need a nut or a chocolate chip.
Okay.
I'm a mint chocolate chipper.
Okay. My wife and my daughter and my brother are like diehard mint chocolate chippers. I'm not, but I respect it. And I know theirs is pretty exceptional. They have at different times different versions of
making me wanna
a
go.
butter pecan or a bourbon butter praline, something. And if they have it, I don't know what to do with myself because I need the sea salt caramel. But then I want the bourbon or the pecan.
Do you ever let yourself get 2 scoops?
Yes.
Okay, good.
That's where I was
Thank
going.
God.
There's an obvious solution.
Do you ever wonder
to
if
this
he's
problem.
an animal or robot?
There's an obvious solution, and you just do both, okay? And if you've never been to Sweet Firefly, it's in the Two Creeks development, like inside the Canyon Creek, Prairie Creek, Cottonwood Creek neighborhood deal, right by Canyon Creek Country Club. You need to go. It is one of the most charming places in DFW, and it has the best ice cream. And if you don't agree, I will freaking thumb war you for it right now. You need to go to Sweet Firefly. And we're talking about it because we love it. Also because when we get to take our friends, our past clients, our neighbors, by the way, we don't call them our past clients, we call them our Raven fan club. But when we get to gather with our people and eat ice cream, which we're going to do here in a couple of weeks, if you're a past client, if you're a friend, if you're a neighbor, whatever, and you haven't gotten your emails or text about it, holla at you, boy.
Holla.
We'll get you taken care of. This is where we take them. And we just say, hey, get in line. I'm buying. Bring a friend, bring a neighbor, bring your neighbor's kids. That is for our people. That's for the people that we know and trust and have worked with us and recommend and refer us and all that stuff. But that's where we take them. And it is delightful. And I can't wait. And Courtney can't wait to take pictures of all the kids with what do they call it? Beltline berry. That's the flavor, the blue one that they get all over their face.
It's very cute.
Lots of cute pictures there.
Might have to try the ginger snap this year.
Ooh, I've never had bad ice cream there. Have you?
No.
Not one time.
Yeah!
I can't wait. I shouldn't have started talking about this. I'm so worked
I
up.
know. I kind of want to go for lunch.
All right, Sweet Firefly in Richardson. Look it up. Take friends. And if you're one of our, you know who you are. If you're one of our people, past client, friend, referring partner, just someone that we love and you love us. That's where we're going in a couple of weeks. All of our people, Sweet Firefly. Go check it out. It's a real estate show, but we can talk about ice cream if we want because we love Sweet Firefly. All right, folks, if you're buying, selling, or just wanting to enjoy your home this season, ToddTremontiTeam.com. That's ToddTremontiTeam.com.